All right, everybody, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video, and happy Friday to everybody. And I hope you guys are continuing to stay safe out there. And sometimes every day, man, you just never know what could happen or what the surprises are. And speaking of which, I think the week's not over yet, so there's still a possibility that today we might get some sort of reveal or some sort of tease. If not, then it would probably happen sometime next week. So again, we still have a day left, or less than a day now, to figure out who was right on the poll and who was wrong in their prediction. So that's kind of exciting, and there's a whole bunch of PS5 stuff coming out and stuff like that, a whole bunch of new games and consoles information and everything. And as time goes on, we're only getting closer and closer to more reveals, and it is the month of May, and something will happen in terms of Call of Duty sooner or later. I seriously doubt they're going to wait till June, and if they do, holy shit, that's, man. But I doubt it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be something revealed this month. I could just feel it, you know? Sometimes you just get feelings. And speaking of which, today, out of nowhere, I saw a post on Twitter. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about this until maybe after I got home, to where it was a little bit more spread, or until watching Thunder's video. So apparently, Scump, who is probably the most popular pro player out there in terms of Call of Duty, and for quite a while, and is always in the mention of the top player ever. He's one of the mentions in terms of the top player ever. Basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, came out and said that Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the worst Call of Duty of all time, if not one of the worst Call of Duties of all time. And that Warzone basically saved the game, because if it wasn't for Warzone, the game would just be like 100% trash, as opposed to just the multiplayer being straight up trash. So with that being said, he gained my respect, and I don't mean he gained my respect because I agree with his opinion. It wasn't necessarily just that. As a matter of fact, it was more of something else. And I'll get into that in a second. And by the way, I just wanted to say before I get into that, that I respect all the pro players, especially not just because of their Call of Duty ability and knowledge in the game and dedication to it, but also because of the fact that whenever there's a bad Call of Duty like this one, Modern Warfare 2019, they're basically stuck playing that game. Either that or they're not making a living. So the thing is, I give them props for that, and it's really unhealthy to do that, and I'm sure some of the pros are feeling the side effects of that shit. I mean, thank goodness for Warzone, because I've been noticing a lot of pros have been playing Warzone lately, and it's popular on Twitch, it's popular in content creation, so, and a lot of pros, again, are playing Warzone whenever they're not doing scrims or whatever else they're doing with the game or whatnot. So instead of playing competitive all the time, it appears that they're splitting some of that time with Warzone. They're spending more time with Warzone than they otherwise normally would. And I mean, I've compared that to previous seasons and Blackout and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people were playing Blackout last year, but still, at the same time, with Warzone, it seems like they're playing it even more. And granted, it seems that a lot of people think that Warzone is better than Blackout. So again, my nose doesn't belong in the BR subject, so I wouldn't know, because I don't play that much BR, and whatever little I have ever played of it, I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. So I don't have that much experience in it when it comes to that as well, because I just don't enjoy it. So I have no opinion on it. I just have my opinions in terms of what I like and what I don't like. But in terms of which BR is better, whether it's Blackout or Warzone, that's definitely not for me to say, because I'm not a BR player. So if I was, I would gladly say my opinion. You guys would have known about it by now. We would have heard about it by now. But long story short, the reason, going back to what I was saying, is the reason why I respected Scumpy so much now, because of him saying that. Again, not because we have similar opinions on the subject, but also because he came out and just blatantly said it in the middle of the game's life cycle. Pros are usually very reserved in terms of fully talking about their opinion. Like they can express, and they can express their likes and dislikes about stuff, and they can do that, and they can say, hey, fix your shit when it comes to this, or this is terrible, fix this. I mean, they could do that, but to go out and basically say that, a certain flavor of Call of Duty is one of the worst ever, just straight up trash or whatnot, during the middle of the game's life cycle, when pros are actually, they basically do their best to basically hide their feelings. Like if they're negative feelings, they hide their feelings about it. Obviously, if they're positive feelings, they're basically unlimited. But the thing is, I mean, these guys are paid to play the game. So it's basically like, in a sense, it's almost like, working for a company and basically saying that, yeah, my product sucks. And I got to give props to that. I mean, I know that Scump is rich. He's got some money. He's very financially successful. He could retire tomorrow and still be making tons of money from YouTube and everything else, and streaming and stuff like that. I mean, the man, whether or not he continues to compete or not, he's going to be fine. And I don't know if that plays a role in terms of how easy it is for him to just come out and say that it's bad. I mean, a lot of pro players are doing very well, but he's been, you know, he's one of the most successful pro players in history as well. So, and we're talking, you know, not just from a competitive standpoint, but we're talking from a YouTube standpoint. You know, like I said, he could retire. Even Nadeshot has once said it. I mean, I think Nadeshot recommended that he retired before this game came out, before Modern Warfare came out, but he didn't want to. He wanted to keep going. So you got to admire the man's competitive nature, despite the fact that he could hang it up tomorrow if he wants, and he can still have plenty of money coming in. He could have e-girls up the wazoo if he wants, or whatever the thing is nowadays. But I had to give him props because it was real. It was a very real thing. He basically said the truth, even though it would be something that he might even get backlash over. I don't know how Hex, like, once that video, like, basically the video where Scump said that was basically the team, the Huntsman team. I think there were a couple of pros, and then one of them was a former pro, and then two of them were former pros, and then there was Hitch, who also does content. Back when they used to be Optic Gaming, now they're Huntsman or whatnot. They were just ranking their Call of Duties in terms of, you know, whether or not they put it in tier 1, tier 2, God tier, 3, 4, whatever. And when it was time for Modern Warfare 2019, Scump just basically said the game is pure trash, and Warzone is pretty much the only saving factor of that game. But from a pub standpoint, from a multiplayer standpoint, it's straight up trash. So, I mean, to say that when the game is in its current life cycle and the multiplayer side of things needs all the support that it can get, I mean, God knows how Hex reacted to that. Like, after the video stopped recording, I mean, I wonder if Hex said anything like, hey, you shouldn't have said that or something like that. I mean, I don't know. But at the same time, Scump seems to be all that kind of person too, where every once in a while he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's going to say what he wants, whether he's right or whether he's wrong, or whether it's best for business or not. Every once in a while he seems to, you know, do that. But he can get away with it, and it's a good thing. You know, it's good that you've got the most popular pro player out there saying that, because it's only going to make things better, at least from a theoretical standpoint. I mean, I don't know. I can't predict the future. I don't know what the future has in store with Call of Duty, especially after COD 2020, in terms of what Infinity Ward's going to do next. But I can't imagine it being worse than Modern Warfare. But at the same time, given its current track record, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just as bad or worse sometime in the future or whatnot. And even with some of the content creators that I watch, big and small, whenever they post Modern Warfare gameplay in the background, it's hard to watch. The game overall is just boring. It's, for me personally, you know. So I know that's not the case for everybody. I respect everybody's opinions as long as they're not douchebags about it. But the thing is, I have to give the man props for keeping it real. You know, I run my channel off of keeping it real, and here's a guy that's also very popular. And obviously, you know, it's a big deal. His opinion's a big deal. But if it's negative, I mean, it's a lot of the devs or Activision won't like to hear that. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, sometimes you just got to keep it real, and you got to give that criticism. So props to Scump, man. Props to Scump. And I agree with what he said. I 100% agree with what he said. So props to him. So let me know down in the comment section. Do you agree with Scump? Do you disagree with Scump? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let me know. And that's all I got for this one, guys. I just wanted to kind of put this out there because he kept it real, and I like to keep it real, so it just made all the sense in the world. So hopefully we'll get a reveal this Friday or today from the next COD, so I'll just be waiting on that. Very exciting. And that's it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, guys, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.